Thanks a lot for taking the time out and joining us for this session. I hope it will be worth your time next 60 minutes, roughly about 30 minutes. I'm going to walk you through my presentation just to set the stage right. Next 15 minutes, I'll try to jump into the live demonstration of the platform that we run 24/7. And post that, we'll have a Q&A session. So just for the record, this webinar is being recorded and a recording will be shared with everyone. If you need, I guess the slides, the presentation slides can be downloaded from the WebEx platform. If you are unable to download the slides or if you do not receive the recording, do get in touch with one of my colleagues, and we will be happy to help you with a copy of presentation and a copy of recording as well. Right, so let me just get started with the topic of today, which is GenAI enabled document and records management platform based on Alfresco EDMS as well as MariaDB database. And my agenda for today would be very brief, just a quick introduction about our company, Crest Infosolutions, which has significant presence in this part of the world in Asia Pacific. Then I'm going to walk you through a few slides about the GenAI enabled document management platform, the key capabilities, some of the AI capabilities of the platform, and then we will land onto a live demonstration for about 10 minutes or so. Post the demonstration, we will have the technology deep dive of what goes behind the solution architecture, what are the deployment options, and I'll be happy to take your questions. So you can drop your questions during the webinar as well in the chat window, or you can ask your questions during the Q&A session in the end. So happy to take your questions, as many as possible, in the interest of time. So a quick introduction about ourselves, Crest Infosolutions, on who we are. We are a system integrator company, been in business for roughly about 13 years now. Started off in Singapore, expanded to Malaysia, also having our operations and office in Indonesia, in Jakarta, in Australia, in Hong Kong, Philippines. So we do serve customers across Asia Pacific. Also in the West, we do operate in US. We have been an Alfresco partner and now owned by Highland for more than a decade. So we have specialization around providing document management, content management, records management solutions. We also partner with other companies like MariaDB. We are very strong in. We have been one of the longest partner of MariaDB offering database solutions. And interestingly, MariaDB is not only an RDBMS, a typical OLTP or OLAP database, but also acts as a AI database, so vector database to implement your RAZ or RAG in a single platform. Then we partner with Kong for API gateway, with IBM for the infrastructure, Power 10 servers, with Red Hat for OpenShift Kubernetes platform, also with SUSE. Right. Our presence, I already mentioned about, started off in Singapore, expanded to Malaysia, India, Australia, Jakarta, also in the West, in US, as well as in Europe. A couple of our success story before we head to the solution. So we are very proud to power the Digital Document Management System, DDMS 2.0 for Government of Malaysia, which is a very unique, one-of-a-kind, multi-tenant electronic records management platform serving more than 376 public sector agencies, including all ministries, with more than 56,000 active users, which also meets the local electronic records management compliances, ISO 16175, ISO 27001, etc. So very proud to have deployed these solutions more than 8 years back, and since then we have been supporting these solutions with Government of Malaysia. Our second success story is in the fintech domain for a digital bank in Singapore, wherein we implemented Alfresco to automate the key processes of the bank, starting with customer onboarding, grievance handling for loan application, credit card applications, and so on. So most of the key business processes are being automated and integrated with several backend systems, including core banking, LOS systems, credit card systems, CRM systems, and so on and so forth. So Alfresco not only serves as a document repository, a DMS or an RMS system, but also acts as a workflow BPM, a low-code application development platform to provide one single solution for the organization to actually go paperless, to achieve the digital maturity. And with the arrival of AI, of course, there are immense possibility that Alfresco provides in terms of enhancing the user productivity as well as the compliance as well. All right, so let's go to the section of describing what Alfresco is, capabilities that it provides in the era of GenAI. So at a very high level, the key modules of Alfresco includes the document management, the records management, the knowledge management, the low-code, app development, workflow BPM, reports and analytics, and also the GenAI capabilities. Let's explore each of these one by one. So it's a very modular platform. The customers looking for only the document management capabilities can only just avail one particular module, or if they want document management with GenAI, then you will definitely be able to get two modules and run your DMS capabilities, enhance or modernize your existing digital repositories. If you are looking for a document management with records management to even meet the compliances like ISO 16175 or 27001, etc., then the customers can add document management, records management, and maybe even the GenAI capability. If you're looking for a low-code app development, business processes, want to eliminate the physical forms and want to store them into the repository, then we can choose document management, records management, low code, as well as the GenAI, right? So this way, it makes it easy for you to get started with the minimal viable solution for your organization and scale and grow as you go along. Right, so let's explore one by one. What does the document management module do? Well, it provides you a nice, very friendly user interface, user experience, which can store, manage, and allow you to retrieve business-sensitive documents in a very friendly manner with tribute structure, with all the business rules added, and so on and so forth. Right. So it also, of course, fits into your ecosystem. So if your users are familiar of working with their documents through Microsoft Office 365 or Google Workspace, there are built-in integration capabilities where the documents stored and managed by Alfresco can be co-authored with using Microsoft 365 or Google Workspace, etc. Whether the thick client are installed in your laptop, desktop, or you're working with the web version, including the email archival coming in through Outlook, etc. They can directly be ingested or retrieved either from Office 365, Google Workspace, or by the web and mobile interface of Alfresco. Fully secure repository allows you to do the version management, permission management, integrate with your Active Directory, LDAP, Entra ID, any other SSO solutions, and a fully audited activities when the documents are being created, updated, deleted, permissions changed. Every activity that happens does have a comprehensive audit trail with data and timestamp for you to actually do investigation of what's been going on your repository. The records management is to meet the compliance, or not all documents may be records, only the critical documents or financially sensitive documents, etc., is what typically the organizations will define as records, and you need to meet the compliance maybe for the central banks or for the national archives of the respective country. So Alfresco does allow you to manage records within the same platform and distinguish between documents and records, apply the retention policies based on the type of documents, based on the events, on how long a particular type of documents, whether invoices, contracts, PODOs, MOUs, memos, how long these needs to be kept. And when the life reaches, for example, 7 years or 10 years or 15 years, the system prompts you to take an action, whether to retain it, whether to send it to the archive, or purge it in a digital shredding manner. So compliance to standards includes ISO 16175, ISO 27001. If you are in the healthcare or pharma segment, then yes, we can help you comply with the HIPAA, HL7, so on and so forth. Knowledge management, so while there is a lot of information that might be in the repository, including the documents, the records, and even the business processes, uh, a lot of pain that we have experienced that some of our customers in the past is retrieving the information is always a big challenge. And how do you retrieve the knowledge? How do you share that knowledge quickly, easily, accurately is where Alfresco adds a lot of value. And GenAI specifically, wherein you can write natural language queries. You don't have to be an expert of how to retrieve the information. And just by writing the natural language queries, the system will be able to get you the information quickly as you want. So very powerful tool for knowledge management. Then the low-code app development. So while you are modernizing your applications, have a lot of documents in the repository from various sources, you may still be relying on the physical papers, on the physical documents. Now, in order to turn your organizations fully, you might want to automate your business processes, turn physical forms into digital forms, and that's where the built-in BPMN 2.0 compliant low-code application developer platform allows you to define your business processes, multi-stage business processes with all the business logic, drag and drop builder with electronic forms, with electronic workflows, and give a nice user experience to the users to work with the forms, with the business process, and so on. We also have digital signatures for the process, digital signature integration for the processes. So whether if you are based in Malaysia, then you might want to integrate with the local digital signing solution called Signing Cloud. If you are in Indonesia, you might want to adopt either the Privy digital signatures platform or the DocuSign and so on. Signing Cloud does have integration with the single sign-on solutions in SingPass, etc. in Singapore as well. So if you are a Singapore customer, then yes, we will be able to give you a SingPass compliant integration of Signing Cloud with Alfresco GenAI platform. Right, and finally, the management would want to know what's going on in the repository, how many business processes are running, completed, does take time, how many documents are in there, how many records have come in, been signed, and so on and so forth. So there is a very comprehensive reporting module built in within the platform for you to filter, drill down the reports, export for the management, and so on and so forth. Right, so let's come on to the GenAI part. So all what we have, explored so far was something which is pretty familiar to most of you. But what adds value further, the GenAI, how the GenAI adds value to the DMS, to the RMS, to the workflow BPM, the low-code application development is what I'm going to describe next. So I'm just presenting a scenario in here on how the businesses can leverage the AI where are the gaps. So presenting this hypothetical scenario, which might not be very hypothetical for most of you, is that if there is a business executive, Saren, responsible for driving the growth through the operational efficiency, and her team processes various business contracts and gathers the sensitive information on vendors and customers. Now, this can be a contract process for review, approval, signing, and so on. This could as well be related to invoices, could be for the procure to pay process, or it can as well be any kind of customer application process for bank account opening, for insurance policy, so on and so forth. Now, Sharon is responsible for driving the growth. Now, every organization, I assume, mid or large, will use some sort of document repository or a DMS system to manage business documents, whether they are contracts, insurance policies, account opening form, credit card form, loan forms, and so on. And there are line of business applications which support these processes, but there are documents which are typically either outside of the LOB applications or they just go into the same database. And a lot of this actually gets handled manually. And there is a large volume. There's a compliance requirements. There is a requirements to process it within time. So time to market, of course, is very, very critical. But at the same time, handling the sensitive information is also necessary. Now, a hybrid approach of using the line of business application with manual work of handling the documents like director IDs and so on and so forth, along with the contracts or along with the application forms, there may be data entry errors on how the documents come into the system. It takes time because the contracts or the documents may be lengthy with a lot of information into it. It will have to be manually screened through, eyeball check, as we call it. So there has to be some sort of maker-checker process to basically validate, verify, and it does take time, right? There's a sensitive information which does come in with the supporting documents and sometimes within the application form or contract as well. Now, the business process does run late because every stakeholder will have to verify the information before they approve it into the system or before they allow that business documents to flow through the next stage or maybe the next teams. And there is a lot of sensitive information again in this information, which in this package or in this business process, which does flow through it. And the business executive will typically wonder on why does it take so long for their team to basically process it. And sometimes the email follow-ups, etc., or WhatsApp follow-up, etc., actually become Teams follow-up, actually become very, very common and can be quite frustrating as well. Now, how it works with the GenAI or how GenAI-based DMS system can actually improve it. So take an example, the Saturn decided to modernize the existing DMS RMS system. So the vendor like us, does give a demonstration or a proof of concept to align the expectations of how GenAI can actually add value and how the GenAI system can actually integrate with an existing ecosystem, so that there is a minimal change management requirement and the users will be able to adopt it. At the same time, what the Seren or a business executive doesn't want is compromising with the data sovereignty, data security, and so on and so forth. And she realizes that such a GenAI system can be fully on-prem, can be a fully air-gapped environment. That means the data is not going out. Either it's in my private cloud, it's in my own data center within the country, so on and so forth. Now, such a GenAI-based system which runs in my premise, and yes, it might be a bit of surprise for some of you, is can I actually get the powerful ChatGPT sort of capabilities without, actually giving my data to Copilot, to ChatGPT, OpenAI, and so on? Well, yes, we will have a look at that next. Right. So the new solution reduces the decision-making errors, boosts the team productivity by actually adding the AI part of it, can automatically summarize, tag, translate documents, even remove the sensitive data as the completion of the process, whether it's a director ID and so on, with the bank account information, ensures the compliance and regulations, and even meets the organization's data sovereignty, security, performance, and even availability requirements. And with this GenAI-based DMS system, Sharon, as a business executive, can process the documents, the business processes much faster with improved compliance level and reducing the risk significantly. So this is a business scenario that I presented to all of you. Some of you may be able to relate it. Let me just move on next on deep dive of which are these capabilities I'm referring to for the business transformation. So within the DMS, we have certain tools built in rather than moving the data in and out of the system, right? So there are several tools which are built in within the Alfresco GenAI DMS platform, which allows users to summarize documents automatically, either with a click or in the background, even translate in multiple languages. So you get a document in Korean language, you want to have a English version to it, or if you have an English version of the document, but you want to send a Korean translated document to your Korean counterpart, you don't have to go to a third-party translation service, which might compromise the information security. PII, or personally identifiable information detection and reduction, which happens in the background automatically without using any third-party tools. So you ensure that all your unstructured documents which go into the repository comply to the security, the data security standards, the local compliances, and so on. And then for the ease of indexing, the ease of retrieval, the system generates the tags and metadata. And then finally, what everybody loves today, the ChatGPT. So we have the built-in ChatGPT within the system, within Alfresco platform, and does not send the data out to any of the cloud platform unless you have to deliberately do it, right? So I've got some of the mock-ups for you. I'm going to show you the live system regardless. what the summarization module does is automatically summarize the documents as they come in, whether the users are uploading it or applications are generating it and integrating with Alfresco. Depending upon the types of documents that you might have configured, not all, you don't have to overload your AI server or GPU server to summarize each and every document. Businesses can pick and choose which type of documents do I want to summarize automatically in the background. So when the users are previewing it, when the users are working on it, there is a nice summary available side by side, and it definitely reduces the human errors as well as oversight. Consider if you're looking at a 30, 40, 50 page contracts, you're scrolling through the pages and some of the information may get missed. What the auto summarization of Alfresco ensures that none of the critical information is actually missed. Same way, the translation just available at a click. You don't have to download, upload, or copy paste the text to third-party platform. And we do support 120 plus languages. Why it's not a word-to-word translation, since we use the large language models behind, and we can choose which one. And yes, we can recommend some of the top ones that we are currently working with, and we have verified the accuracy, which includes, of course, Llama 3.2, IBM Greenlight, and DeepSeek as well for some of the languages. But yeah, we do support the simplified Chinese, the Bahasa Melayu, Bahasa Indonesia, Vietnamese, Thai, and so on and so forth. Meta text generation in order to index the documents automatically. So if you are migrating your historical documents, it might be a challenging task for you to add properties of the documents. And that's where the GenAI comes in very handy, where some of the tags are automatically retrieved based on the entire text of the documents, and they can be tagged for those keywords, so that for users it becomes very easy to categorize, to organize, and even to find in future. So a very handy tool for large volume repositories management. Finally, the information security folks would love it that they can automate the processes of redacting the sensitive information. For example, if you have the account number, you may have the full name, you may have some of the other phone numbers, etc., for the customers, which you do not want to expose at a later stage, even though there may be documents which may be released for audit purpose and so on and so forth. Right? And finally, as I said, everyone loves GPT. So I have documents, I have one, two, I have a folder of a lot of customer documents. Can I just go ahead and ask my questions and let the AI retrieve the information from those documents? So to avoid the hallucination, we ensure that the built-in Ask AI module, as we call it, is only limiting its answers to the particular document, so to the particular set of documents, and not trying to create or generate anything that is not written in those documents. There may be PDF, Word, Excel, PowerPoints. If you have images which does contain sensitive information, yes, the AI can definitely do the OCR and generate information from the images, TIFF or maybe in JPEG, etc. and so on. All right, so a lot of information on the PowerPoint. Not a fan of PowerPoint. I like to see the real magic happening. So let me just switch my screen and go to our live application. All right, so so this is our live demo server running in our KL Malaysia office. Let me just log into it and simulate a scenario where 3 users are involved: admin users, legal users, and procurement users in a business process to review and approve a contract. So I'm logging in as an admin user. I'm on my dashboard. I can see my tasks, if there are any. I can see my documents. I have the documents library access to. I can access my reports, and if there is any apps, etc. So let me start my business process for an investment contract. So the low-code app platform allows me to develop the e-form. So I'll just give it a vendor ID. So 220. Let me just give it vendor name. What should we give the vendor name? So let's just say Signing Cloud. Full address, KL Malaysia. Phone number, I think I can just fill in something. SSTX12345. I'm just entering some simple data. Post bank, account number 89. Contract number, just adding a running contract number. What's the contract date? Let's select it for today. Amount 250,000. Let's give it a project of Alfresco, GenAI, DMS project. That's my description. Let's keep the expiry date as maybe June 30th. And in order to support this information for the reviewers to verify, let me just add a sample bank statement so that the reviewers can verify whether the vendor details, phone number, etc. are correct or not. So I'm just going to start the process. Right, so this is under my active workflows. I just started this process. What happened in the background is the business process generated a contract for me based on the information that I entered. This is the bank statement that I just uploaded. Right. And let me just go to my active workflow. And this is the contract which got generated by the low-code application developer platform by merging the information that I provided in the form. Right. So this is an investment contract, got generated automatically with the vendor ID I gave, the vendor name I gave, the address, the registration number, and the contract details. And then there are, of course, terms below. So this is based on the template the documents had been generated. Moving on next, let us see. So where does it go? So I can see the complete history of the process. I started it. It goes to the next user for review and approval. Right. Okay, having a bit of trouble with the screen. Okay, right. So let me just sign out and log in as the next user in the process, which is a legal user. I mean, this workflow, of course, process will be different for each organization, right? So the legal user does see the task, which comes into the task pool. So it's not necessarily that it may be assigned to a individual user, it may as well be assigned to a group of users. I can see the form, I can see the bank statement attached, I can approve or reject. Okay, first I have to claim it because it's assigned to my group. So it goes to my inbox and then I can approve or reject this task. But before I do that, let me just have a look at my documents. This is where my documents are, a bank statement and a contract we generated. Let me have a look at my contract. This is my contract. And what the AI did in the background is generated a nice summary for me. So what it does, the document outlines an investment contract between an investor and Crest. Signing cloud is identified as a vendor ID and so on and so forth, and all the terms in here. I'm not happy with the summary, or maybe just too little of what I see. So what I'm going to do next is ask some more information from the AI. So, okay, show all the key terms and provide maybe even a recommendation. I'm a legal person, so let me just ask what AI says about what are the key terms and what are the recommendations in order to improve this particular investment contract. Before I approve it, let me just have a look. So I may be able to scroll through it, but I'm just relying on AI for quick summary as well as recommendations. Right. So the key terms, the investment amount, it does 250,000, the contract, the deliveries, the new shares, the change of control, and then all the waiver of rights, and then it gives me a recommendation. The investor should conduct a due diligence should ensure it's qualified, should be aware of the subordination clause vis-a-vis under, Article 67, should confirm the company has the required corporate power and so on. So it does give me the recommendation. So AI not only helps me to summarize the lengthy documents, but it does give me the recommendation. So if I want, I can go ahead and either edit the documents using the Google Docs or Microsoft Office, or I can say, well, I think I'm fine with it. So let me just go back and approve this. Okay, so I'm just going to approve it as a legal person, but I think before I approve it, let me also have a look at the bank statement. Well, yeah, all looks good. Account number, address, so on and so forth. All right, fair enough. So I'm going to go ahead and approve it. And once I approved it, it goes to my completed task and I can see the history. Okay, so next it goes to the procurement users. So let me impersonate as a procurement user. The procurement user also sees the task in here under unclaimed. I can also access it from here. So I go to my task pool, I claim the task. So if you have a team of 2, 3, 4, 5 people, the business doesn't stop because anyone can actually pick or claim or unclaim from the pool. Now, the procurement user also verifies the information. There are attachments in there. I want to ask maybe some further question from the AI. So let me just start asking. What are the warranties? All right, so let's see. I'm not sure which page the warranties are on, but I trust the AI to actually bring it on. Right, so these are basically the warranties which are actually provided from company to investor. I'm fine with it. Let me go ahead and approve it as well. I can ask more questions if I want. So I'm going ahead and approving it as well. Before I approve it, let me have a look at the statement again. Yeah, all looks good. So I'll go back and approve it. And the process goes to my completed tasks. Now, when the process goes to the completed tasks, right, this one, the last one, right, I have the documents attached, and while my contract is now final, the workflow has been completed. What I get to see in here is this was the bank statement, which was attached in order to verify during the process. And what AI then does upon the completion of the process is redacts the sensitive information which was required during the process, but not required anymore because the process has been completed. So the business executive ensures that we are not falling or keeping the documents which are still, filled with a lot of sensitive information. Once the business process completes, the sensitive information is redacted. Now, there can be several variations on depending upon what your business wants. Do you want the redacted copy to be have as a version, or do you want the original copy to be replaced with the redacted copy? And do you want to leave the last 1 digit or 2 digits of the sensitive information in order to verify in futures? All that is basically configurable, right? So my business process completes, and I can safely save a lot of time by automatically generating the summary, by asking questions, by redacting information, and so on and so forth, right? Now, I'm just going to show you maybe one final capability as well. So you may have a lot of documents. You just worked with a business process. Now I'm going to retrieve some of the contracts, right? So I don't know how many contracts are there. Well, so this is typically how you will see your results, in a DMS platform. So let me just see. Happy holidays contracts. I have different vendors. I can see some of the contracts in there. contracts. So this is a typical search that you will see in any DMS system. What I'm going to do next is I'm just going to switch to more intelligent search. And the more intelligent search is what I'm going to ask questions now. Oops. I am the intelligent search. Yeah, okay. So let me just ask questions, right? Show all active contracts with vendor amount and expiry date. All right. So let's ask the AI. I don't know where my contracts are, which folders do they have. All right, I've got 4 active contracts, which list down all the vendor name, the amount, etc. Maybe I'll just ask you to format it a bit in a table. All right, so I've got 4 active contracts with the vendor name, the amount, with an expiry date. And directly from the search, of course, I can go ahead and look at my contracts. Again, I have the options to ask, to summarize in here, each of the contracts, right? These are all active contracts. Let me see expired contracts. Well, there are 3 expired contracts. Okay, let me change my query slightly to say, show all contracts expiring in next 3 months. Well, there are 3 contracts as well. Let me just list vendor name, amount, and expiry date in table. So I do get the relevant information. I do get the information above it. So I can see my 3 contracts which are expiring in next 3 months, and I see all the related copies. So I don't have to browse through the massive amount of folder structure or go one by one. I can just do my natural language query, and I will be able to actually get the information that I want. Saves a lot of time, improves a lot of productivity. That's what GenAI does to your DMS or to your RMS system. So that was the demonstration of the live system. Let me switch back to my presentation, and we will continue with the deep dive. So what goes behind of what you basically just saw? So that is a very high level, very simplified architecture of the platform that we have just shown it to you. So at the heart of it, what you see is basically the Alfresco document management, workflow BPM, low-code application platform. You have the nice user experience to consume the underlying platform, which is both friendly for both web as well as mobile. Underneath, we are running RDBMS as well as the vector database. Typically, organizations will run different RDBMS and different vector database, but for us, the advantage of running MariaDB as a single platform, it allows us to do both the RDBMS and the vector database into a single server. So saving time, reducing complexity as well. And of course, manageability and so on and so forth. Cost is a big factor. If you're having specialized RDBMS and a specialized vector, then of course the cost increases, you need separate infra and so on and so forth. Now, the GenAI stack that we built combines several components. At the heart of it is basically the Spring AI using the Java platform. There is a custom RAG engine which connects with a vector DB. There is a IBM Docling running in here, which does the OCR and document markup and so on. And then we run different gateways, Olama or VLLM, to connect with the LLM platform. So whether we can connect with self-hosted LLMs like IBM Greenlight, Llama, or DeepSeek, etc., or we can as well connect to the cloud-based, whether it's IBM Watson X if you're already using it, or if you're comfortable, integrating with the cloud ones, so Google Gemini, Copilot, etc. Now, the documents within Alfresco may come in from your line of business apps, or maybe from your existing DMS, OneDrive, Google Drive, which can be ingested, and you can transform the way your document repository or records management repository actually behaves. I think I will go next. Okay, so supported deployment options. We do support various architecture. We can deploy and run on-prem in an air-gapped environment using IBM Power Platform on Linux, or we can also run it on x86 platform, very typical VMware KVM-based virtualization. Or if you're comfortable or already on the cloud, commercial cloud, or like IBM or Google Cloud, AWS, Azure, etc., then yes, the platform can run on that as well and integrate with the cloud-based AI platform like Watson X, Gemini, or Copilot. If you are on-prem, going back, we can run on a GPU server behind an IBM Power server. NVIDIA GPU is what is supported. But if you are looking at GenAI DMS as a service, yes, do let us know and we'll be happy to sort of discuss around it. So you don't have to manage it, you don't have to deploy it. We provide 24/7 GenAI DMS as a service based on Alfresco and MariaDB platform. So yeah, that's all I have for now. Maybe I just want to show you one more thing before we actually end this, because there's something important which I just wanted to show you. Just wanted to give you a quick sneak peek of the configuration. So I'm going into the admin tools, and then we have the configuration. So you can see we have actually configured a number of AI servers at the back, and the users can, or administrators can actually pick and choose of which LLM that you want to work against which capability. So just now I was asking the questions. Ask AI, the chat GPT sort of window, which is supported by the IBM Granite VLLM that we are running in our GPU server in our KL office. The PII detection, we configured it to run with Google Gemini. So we can switch anytime we want. Summarize was coming from Gemini as well. It can as well come from IBM Granite. So depending upon, because one of the concerns that we hear from our customers is, if you're using the cloud-based AI, then how many tokens are we consuming, and whether the bill will actually spiral. So in order to avoid those scenarios, we do support self-hosted air-gapped environment with the help of IBM Granite or with Llama model and so on and so forth. Just wanted to actually give you that information. Right, so that's where we are. We are in the Q&A segment. So I guess there are several questions in the chat. I will start taking it one by one. Okay, let me just get it started. Feel free to drop your questions in there. What feature differences with Alfresco community? What pricing? Well, the feature differences between Alfresco community and enterprise is the security, the high availability. So just to tell you, Alfresco community does not provide you any kind of encryption, AES 256 data at rest. It does not provide you high availability clustering. So it only allows you to do a single server deployment. And in case the single server fails, of course, you need to bring it up till the time the users cannot access it. Alfresco Enterprise provides you the clustering capabilities, and that's why we are able to support the digital document management system for government of Malaysia for more than 56,000 users, because there is a cluster which supports that high amount of volume and also availability. So if you're running like 5 nodes in a cluster, if 1 or 2 goes down, your users will not even feel it because the sessions are being transferred to the running nodes. So security is definitely a big aspect. Availability, high availability clustering is a definite ask. Then you have drag and drop workflow builder, drag and drop forms builder in order to automate your processes. So these are some of the aspects. Of course, we have complete list that we can share with you. Do drop us an email and my colleagues will be happy to send you the comparison document. In terms of pricing, well, it differs based on the number of modules, whether you're just looking for document management, you're looking for document management with records management, or you're looking for just workflow BPM, or you're looking for workflow BPM low-code platform with DMS. So it actually depends on which capabilities you want, and the pricing goes by the number of users. It does not restrict on how many CPUs, RAM, or servers or environment that you're running. It only and only limits, or how many workflows processes you're building. It does not limit at all. It just relies on the number of modules and the number of users. And you can have unlimited data storage if you're running on-prem or maybe in the cloud, depending upon how much storage we have subscribed. And you can develop any number of processes. Right. Are there any more questions?
Next question, Hemant. Can we get a copy of the slide deck?
Yes, I think the slide deck copy should be available within the WebEx. Since I'm on the presenter side, I can't see it. I'm not sure if you're a participant, you should be able to see it. But in case you are not able to get it, drop us an email. I think we have provided some email in the chat. So drop us a couple of email IDs from our team in the chat. And yeah, you can drop us an email and we will be happy to give you a copy of the slide deck and also the recording if you are actually looking at. Air gapping will be great for government. Yeah, of course. And that's why we are allowing this option that you will be able to deploy it in the choice of your environment. If you're already using SharePoint, what are the main reasons to consider it? Well, there are several reasons to consider Alfresco compared to SharePoint. One is, of course, the amount of data that it can handle. I really don't want to say anything negative about the competitor products, but I'm sure you know if you have millions of files and specifically non-Microsoft like PDFs or images, etc. I'm sure you know the performance and retrievability of SharePoint. There are, of course, better features in terms of records management, audit trail, etc. The overall user experience, ability to have native workflows, BPM that you can actually do within the platform. I think SharePoint will ask you to either go the Power Apps or the Power Automate way, which will then, of course, accumulate your cost, and you have to sort of juggle up integrating multiple systems, Power Apps, Power Automate, OneDrive, SharePoint, and that's how it actually works. Rather than you can just have one platform, simple, easy to use, easy to manage, data sovereignty, you can have it on-prem in the choice of virtualization that you basically need. So performance, security, scalability, user experience, several aspects, and of course now the AI that I just demonstrated are definitely the reasons to consider Alfresco. If you want to have more detailed comparison, drop us an email and we'll be happy to sort of give you, I did prepare a detailed comparison of SharePoint versus Alfresco to one of the customer in the past, and I'm happy to share that copy. Do you develop modular AI apps? Refer to the sample details. Okay, wow. Okay, so I do have. Well, I think that for now, I think in the interest of time, how many minutes we are left with? We're left with 8 minutes. Someone from our team, please copy the message from AI McLean, I guess, if I get the pronunciations right. Right. So please do copy this, and yes, we can definitely look into it and help you out. We do have a good AI team which are able to put up this solution in past 2-3 months. Right. So happy to look at your requirements and revert to you. Right. I don't have any more questions. Or am I missing something? Okay, no, yeah, there are no more questions at the moment, right? Okay, so if that's the case, I will return back 7 minutes of your time. My contact details are on your screen. Feel free to reach out to me via WhatsApp, email, or even scan the QR code to connect with me on LinkedIn. Happy to answer your questions, happy to share the information that you might be looking for. Right, so with that, brings to an end to our webinar today. Thank you everyone for joining, and do look out for our email with the links to slide deck as well as reporting. Right.